Hello, Raptors fans, and welcome back to the Raptors Report podcast. My name's Julian, and with me, as always, my co-host Steve. Welcome back, Steve. How you doing?
Thank you, Julian. I'm great. Well, it's been another week of basketball, and let's get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So sorry about not appearing on Monday. Something came up, and I think it's a good thing that we waited until now when the Raptors are actually above 500 to bring back the podcast. And I'm pretty pumped because, it's been a while since I maybe when was the last time they were over 500 this late in a season? Because like it is,
This stat I don't remember, but I think it was like from 2023, where it was like the last time the Raptors were over 500 or something crazy, and it was like
yeah,
that long, eh? But yeah, it's and we're ahead of our prediction, right? Our 3-7, whatever we thought, 6-5 now. Pretty
6 and
great.
5. Exactly. Yeah. That is better than I think pretty much anybody expected the Toronto Raptors to be doing at this point.
Yeah.
All of the prognosticators in, south of the border, they were like a lot more, down on the Raptors than we were. And even we had the Toronto Raptors with a more modest record at this point. And we expected that, like, things would start picking up when the schedule got easier. And now it's going to get easier. And the Raptors are already over 500. So, like, hell yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what you want to see. And there are a whole bunch of things happening in Raptors land. We're going to be talking Emmanuel Quickley this podcast. We are going to be talking about the Brandon Ingram water bottle fiasco. We are going to beat that dead horse briefly. We won't talk about it too much. We're going to talk about Jamison battle, the battle for minutes. We are going to be talking about Jamal Shed and Sandro Mamukelashvili. And then we're going to be talking about CMB and the disrespect that is being shown our rookie in Toronto and how we're not standing for it.
That's right.
But why don't we drill down? We are going to talk about the Toronto Raptors being above 500. We are going to talk about who they're going to be facing soon so we can understand, like, maybe do some more predictions and, blow a little smoke up your guys' rear ends, make you think that this team is on, the trajectory to the moon. And then, we'll take a look at some of the stats too, because I want to drill down on what the stats are telling us. Because we did that a couple of episodes ago. We talked about like what we were seeing from the Raptors and why it was so like bad what we were seeing.
Yeah.
Now we get to talk about what's so good that we're seeing. So yeah,
What a turnaround. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I know. All right, so let's talk about let's look at the stats. Why don't we? Why don't we head over to Basketball Reference? We'll take a look at the stats. And first off, we can take a look at the offensive rating, the defensive rating, and the net rating. So offensive rating is per 100 possessions. So it takes away, pace of play. It averages out just basically how efficient your offense is per 100 possessions. And the Toronto Raptors are a pretty good, above average, I would say, 12th out of 30 with 117.7 points per 100 possessions. Defensive rating, the lower the better. They are 15th with 114.8, 15th out of 30, so right in the middle there. And that is good for a net rating of plus 2.9, which is 11th out of 30. And one thing to mention is that that is basically doesn't account for the quality of the opponent. So you could be, if you face like a ton of cellar dwellers in a row, your net rating would be through the roof. If you play a bunch of contenders in a row and you don't account for anything else, your net rating is going to be horrible. So what they've done is that they've taken a thing, it's called SRS, which accounts for the strength of schedule. So like how good are your opponents? Like it's all sort of weighted against the other team's record and their, performance metrics. And the Toronto Raptors are a comfortable above average of 14th out of 30, which is decent. Like that is, that's pretty good. It kind of goes with hand in hand with the record that the Raptors have 6-5. You would expect their metrics to be average or a bit above average, and they pretty much just are. Um, are you satisfied with what you're seeing from the Raptors? Like, obviously, if you had to take a look at it holistically and remember the first couple of games of the season, are you happy with where the Raptors are at right now?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, like, there's a couple games you probably want back. Maybe the Dallas game. I thought they probably could have been in that 76ers game, but they were just tired from the back-to-back. So honestly, pretty impressed with what I've seen so far. And I mean, when you look at it, okay, if they're saying 14th of 30 with the strength of schedule included, when you factor in that there's maybe, I don't know how many contenders you would think there are, but I'd say there's probably five, maybe six actual contenders. So to be just kind of on the second or third tier out of that, I think that's pretty decent as your first step as you're trying to get back into the playoffs. I think that's a pretty good sign so far this early in the season that things are going the right way. Um, you know,
I also think that like the ordering of like when the good and the bad happen. So
mhm,
when the bad is in your rear view mirror, like further away, and the good is closer, you're like, nice, we're headed in the right direction.
that's
This is
true.
exactly where you want to be, right? We were
That's true.
bad then, but we
Yeah.
got better and now we're good.
Yeah.
So like obviously there's some, recency bias going on there, but I do think that the Raptors have been getting better. Like the
Mhm.
games have looked better, even the losses. Like
Yeah.
if you remember the game against the 76ers, I
Yeah.
was not displeased with that loss.
Yeah.
When I saw them play and they were without Pirtle, it was on the second night of a back-to-back. They're in Philadelphia. Philadelphia has been a lot better than everybody assumed this season, and they still kind of gave it the good old college try and really kind of drilled down
Yeah.
and made them work to beat the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
I
And
wasn't sad about that at all. The
no,
earlier seasons, yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, those were a lot worse. But and I mean, we really got beat by Trendon Watford, right? A legacy game out of
I
nowhere
know
by
that
Trendon Watford, right?
was
And
amazing.
and it was probably Ingram's worst defensive game
Yeah,
he's
for
had.
sure.
And like Watford really took advantage of that. He looked slow, he looked tired, he looked like he was feeling every bit of that back to back.
Yeah.
Um, you know, 76ers Maxi is an absolute Raptor killer. And for
Everyone
once,
killer now.
yeah, exactly, right? He's a top three guard in the East right now. Um, and for once, he wasn't the guy to really steal that game from us. So I don't know if you look at that as
Yeah.
positive
Can
or
you
what.
believe it? The Raptors held him under his season
Yeah,
averages. He's
yeah.
averaging 33 and a half points per game. The Raptors held him to 31 and a half points per game. So feel
Boom.
good about it, guys.
That's right.
I'm slightly joking there, but let's look at some of the other stats because there's some interesting ones here. So if you'll recall, the Toronto Raptors were like dead last in opponent 2-point field goal percentage the last time we looked at it. Now they're 24th. Yeah, guys. All right. They are 24th of the
Progress.
league. But like if you go from dead last after like I think it was like 6 games or five
Yeah.
games or something like that to 24th, you have gotten a bit better. There are some other things that haven't really improved. The free throw attempts for opponent free throw attempts is still very bad, very
Yeah.
high. 26 26th in the league in opponent free throw attempts. So that's not very good. On the bright side, they're still holding teams under their like they're holding teams to the fourth best 3-point percentage. I don't know how real that is,
Yeah,
but
there's some variance with that kind of thing, right?
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like as we talked about in an earlier pod, the defense that they're trying to play now that it actually finally looks like they're playing defense, is aggressive and handsy and will be foul heavy until hopefully the refs start to respect it more, right?
that's right. Yeah.
So, like it's something that teams have to go through where you establish that this is the way you play, and then hopefully the reffing situation kind of eases on that, despite what Bucks fans will tell you about that game, where the conspiracy that Giannis should be
Yeah.
getting
Like
40
with the
free
friggin'
throws,
Zapruder film, like they were looking at
slowing
videos
it
of like
down.
slowing it down and like they shouldn't have slowed that down because like there
Yeah.
was no foul there. So
No, and they're like there's four fouls on this play. That was crazy. it's not even to that extent. So I get it. They're fouling, they're handsy. There's a lot
Yeah.
of things that are happening there, but hopefully it's part of the process of them establishing that identity, right? Hopefully it means it's working essentially.
Yeah, well, I mean, one thing that is working is that they are forcing other teams into a lot of turnovers. They were higher in this metric the last time we looked, but so I think they were third overall in free throws. Sorry, not free throws, turnovers forced. Now they're sixth in the league, so they've gone down a bit. But one thing to note is that, as you said, the defense has gotten like a lot better. Like it
Yeah.
looks visually much better.
Yeah.
It's not sloppy. It's not disgusting. Yeah, maybe they're not forcing as many turnovers, but it's like it looks less reckless.
Yeah.
So I will take that trade off any day. Like if you force them into a few, like fewer turnovers, then but your defense overall looks better. Hell yeah, I'm taking that every day.
Exactly.
One of the things that I think is actually kind of surprising, and these two things usually don't go hand in hand, and maybe it'll be something that we see sort of change over the season. But right now, the Toronto Raptors are third in assists per game, which is obviously very high. And it's the way they like to play. They share the ball, use a lot of movement, screens, passing. But they're number three in the league in turnovers, their own turnovers. So they only commit 13, almost 14 per game, which I think is like usually the way it works is that if you pass the ball a lot,
Hmm.
you're going to turn the ball over more because, there's more points where the other team can get a hand on it. Usually, if you want to turn the ball over a lot less, this is kind of the Nick Nurse
Yeah.
theory, was that you do a ton of ISOs and you have like a ton of just like of the basic plays, like 5 out where it's one-on-one, that kind of stuff. Then you're going to turn the ball over hardly at all. But with the way the Raptors are playing right now, maybe it's the quality of the opponents that they're playing. Maybe they're playing a lot of teams that are more sort of like conservative. They don't try and generate turnovers. I don't know what it is, but super high assist rate, super low turnover rate. I think that seems really good. Like that
Yeah,
seems
I,
awesome.
I I think part of it is like it's probably not a stat for like open passes in terms of a player not being that guarded that tightly. Um, it seems like they're getting a lot of those where they've got the defense rotating and shifting so they can swing, 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 and like every one of those clean passes where there's
Yeah.
really no chance for it to get picked off is like that's exactly how the offense is supposed to work, right? So that's absolutely money. And when you see some of the turnovers that have happened, a lot of times it's just a guy kind of fumbling the pass. It's like not even that a hand was got on it. There's a
Yeah.
couple passes where it's like maybe Yak just wasn't ready for it or Scotty just wasn't ready for it and it just kind of like falls out of his own hands. So like reality, they could probably even be better in that aspect once they start clicking a bit more. So excellent sign. And it definitely goes to show with, like, I don't know where they are right now after the Brooklyn game, but before the Brooklyn game, they were a top five half court offense. Whereas last season, they were a bottom five half
Yeah.
court offense, right? Crazy jump in that
Huge,
area.
huge. The video that I did today was about the jump in the half court offense.
Right. Nice.
So I'll do a little bit of a plug there.
Yeah.
But like absolutely, the half court offense looks so much better this season. The addition of Ingram was huge,
Mhm.
obviously, but I also think that like having the team at like relative full strength, so you have like guys like Emmanuel Quickley and Jakob Pertl playing
Yeah.
at the same time. That's big for the half court offense because of like the pick and roll is obviously a big part of their offensive identity in the half court. There are a lot of things going their way, and Scotty
Hmm.
Barnes being like a good shooter
Yep.
and knocking down his 3-point attempts, like that has been really good for the Raptors. They're eighth
Yeah.
in 3-point percentage.
And
Um,
transition offense, Scotty's like
Absolutely.
70% field goal in transition for once. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of things are going their way, and hopefully none of it's fool's gold because uh, if some of those things start dropping off, then maybe we're in a bit of trouble. But strength of schedule wise, they've got one of the easiest schedules left in the league. I think according to like Tankathon. So hopefully it just kind of keeps stacking the good.
Yeah, no kidding. I'd love that. Right after this, we'll look at the schedule coming up. But
Yeah.
one thing I wanted to talk about in the stats before we move on is the rebounding. So that's definitely a Jakob thing. Remember when they were dead last when he was hobbled and also injured, like out? They were dead last in rebounding. Now they're 22nd in rebounding, which obviously is not great, but you're also factoring in the data from the prior data set, which where they were the last. So they've moved up considerably in terms of rebounding. And like, obviously you add back in Pirtle, he's going to get his double almost every game. That's going to help out your rebounding as well. So, okay, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. And we can just pop over here to the upcoming games. So of course, Raptors play the Cleveland Cavaliers next. I don't think they're going to win that game.
No.
The Cavs are a really good team. I think Garland is not going to play, right? The toe thing.
No, he's got the toe thing, but they rested their other guys the game like yesterday. So they seemingly rested their guys so they could play us. So yeah, they're gonna have Mitchell and Mobley and all that. So the first time we played them, there was no Mitchell, right?
No, I almost said Davion Mitchell. No,
no Davion Mitchell.
No Davion Mitchell. Although he's playing quite well for the Heat, but no Mitchell. And they have a good team. Like the Raptors barely beat them the last time. Like they needed that God game from Jameson Battle to defeat them. So, and
our defense was pretty awful. A lot of points in that game where it was just like lane wide open. So now did Yak play that game?
No, he didn't.
Okay. So hopefully Yak back gives us a little bit,
Then after that, they play the Indiana Pacers. And I think that is like a game that I'd like to see them pick up, even though Andrew Nembhard is back. Then the Hornets, I think, and also the Pacers game is on the road, so any road game is going to be more difficult to win. The Pacers are not a good team. They only have one win this season, but Nembhard is back. They have some quality players, so it's not a guaranteed victory. I'd like to see them pick it up. Then they come back to Toronto. They play the Hornets. Hornets, like they're better than the bottom, but they're not much better, and it'll be at home. So I think they'll win that one. Then they play the Sixers on the road again. So that's kind of not very fun. The Sixers
probably no Embiid though.
Yeah, because they're managing his minutes, right? Like they're trying to keep his minutes down.
His knee is acting up, but Paul George might be back by then because they're kind of ramping him up.
I'm not worried about Paul George. I'm worried about Joel Embiid, but not Paul George.
Maybe the Paul George is a subtraction by addition situation, and it helps us out.
Yeah, I mean, if he replaces Trenton Watford in in their rotation, I'll be like jumping for joy. So that one will be difficult. They have a really good offense. Then it's the Wizards at home in the cup game.
NBA Cup.
I know, guys. They're going to make it to the group stage. Out of the group stage, excuse me. They're going to make it to the knockout round. Okay. Yeah. So I think that they're going to probably beat the Wizards. They only have one win. Then it's the Nets, who the Raptors just beat. Then it's the Cavs at home. So that'll be, I think, if the Raptors are still rolling, that might be a loss, but it might also just, they might get their, get their confidence and they'll be at home. Then the Pacers, I think they should win that one. And then it's the Hornets on the road. So let's count up like the losses here. So Cavs on the road, I think that's a loss. Sixers on the road, I think that's a loss. Cavs at home, that's a 50-50. Let's just call that a loss.
So 3.
I think they'll pick up the other games.
Yep.
But I'm saying 6-4. I'll just be pessimistic. I'm going to say 6-4. I could see one of those Hornets games going not our way. They got guys who can score, so there's also it's the NBA.
Yep.
Like there's 82 games. Everybody remembers a game or two during the season. When you have a good team, when your team loses a gimme game at home or on the road or like against a really bad team, and they just have that kind of night where nothing goes.
We beat the Celtics last year when they were healthy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 6-4. That would put them at 12 and
9?
uh, yeah, 12 and 9. 3 games over 500. So, I'd be happy with that. Hopefully they go 7-3. Being modest has certainly helped the Toronto Raptors. Predicting 3-7 and going 5-5. Hey,
Yeah.
maybe they win every game.
Maybe. It's awesome to get all these Cavs games out of the way now too,
Yeah, while
especially
they're
if
hurt. Like they got one
yeah.
game off of them when they were hurt, and
Yep.
getting that out of the way right now while they're in the middle of like a really string of pretty easy games, that's
Yeah.
definitely a boon.
Yeah. There was that one maybe it was 2020 whenever the KD Harden Kyrie Nets was a thing and existed and was good, we had all our Nets games in the first like 30 games of the season. We lost all
I
of them.
remember that. Yeah.
And then they
Kyrie
blew up
went,
their team.
I know.
And it was like, and then we were
That was
like,
the tank season when they didn't have their pick, right? Like they lost
yeah,
those games for no reason.
yeah,
That was horrible. Yeah, and so we can just quickly take a look at just the standings as they stand right now, because there's a huge glut of teams in the Toronto Raptors range. So let's take a look at the Eastern Conference. Detroit is in first. They're definitely the surprise team, but they had a cream puff schedule. They have been playing a ton of dirtbag teams. The strength of schedule is, I think, the easiest in the league. Then it's the Knicks, and the Knicks, I think, have been the best team, like just the best team in the Eastern Conference, pretty much. Like even though their record is worse, and they did lose to the Bulls, they're undefeated at home. They have an amazing offense. Like their offense looks really good under Coach Mike Brown.
Yep.
They have a bunch of really good vets and role players and star players. They're a good team. Then Miami. So Miami has actually been the surprise of the season for me. I think that they've been the best team outside of New York. I think they've played better than Detroit. They have a bunch of quality wins too.
yeah.
They have a really good offense. It's just Spoelstra witchcraft.
It's the Heat Devil magic, exactly.
It's insane.
Crazy. They're getting all these guys who are, not stars. They're just third options, and they threw them all on a team, and they're working.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it's kind of like what the Raptors are doing with like a bunch of like quality players at the various positions, and everybody knows how to play.
Yeah.
Obviously they're like a little older, so like it's not a 1-to-1 comparison, but I do it's interesting what they're doing there.
And I do think that if Spoelstra had our roster, we would probably be sitting at 7-3 right now.
Yeah, could be.
Or I mean, I guess we played one extra game, but just because there's probably a few games that we could have squeezed out with a little things a bit different. Anyway.
Yeah, it could be. Cleveland, we've already kind of talked about them. I think when they're healthy, they'll be a good team. Right now, they haven't been healthy, so all the impact metrics say that they're like an average team, but obviously, once they get their full squad back together, they'll be good. Milwaukee has also been a big surprise to me. I thought they would fall off completely, but it's Giannis plus shooters.
Yeah.
And, they've got shooters and they've got Giannis. And what can you say? And, Ryan Rollins has been good for them.
Yeah.
So Miles, I almost said Miles Bridges. Miles Turner has not been good for them.
Yep.
He's been pretty disastrous for them. So Philly has also been another surprise. Man, there's been a lot of surprises here. They have one of the best offenses in the league.
Yep.
And obviously we know what Nick Nurse likes to do with his players, which is play them a gazillion minutes. Chicago has fallen back down to earth. Like, I don't think anybody thought that was a sustainable run.
Yeah.
They were undefeated. They were like, what was it? 5-0. Yeah. Now they're 6-4. And everybody's like, yep, that sounds about right. And then there's the Raptors. There you go. They're 6-5. They're ahead of Atlanta, the Atlanta are very schizophrenic. I don't know if that's a PC thing to say right now, but they are like, losing. They've lost to the Raptors twice, but they've have some quality wins. Like they beat the Lakers. Like they're not a bad team. Orlando as well, 5-6.
Yeah.
Those teams were supposed to be much better. So yeah, Anyway, those are the standings. It's very jumbled up right now. We're going to get a clearer picture of things as the season progresses, but there are a ton of teams in this range. And then there's just the bottom feeders, 1 and 10, 1 and 10, 1 and 10. Brooklyn, Indiana, and Washington. Brooklyn's only win came against Indiana. Washington's only win came against, I think, Dallas. So they're only beating bad teams.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Wow.
Okay, we got to get to our next point here. We've, I don't want to say wallowed, but like we've been sitting in the basking in the glow of the Toronto Raptors being one game over 500 for long enough. Now we have
take
to
your wins when you can.
Listen, we're going to go from one win to another because there was one guy who is telling you that Emmanuel Quickley was not garbage. One person in the Raptors ecosystem. Actually, I don't watch a ton of other things. I like to keep my own takes fresh, so I don't watch it. Yeah. Maybe there were other people saying that Emmanuel Quickley was going to be, he's going to come back. But I was the guy. I was a guy going out there and saying, like, Absolutely. He's not this bad. And guess what? He's back, baby.
Yep.
He is not garbage.
Oh, where is the Emmanuel Quickley apology form? I will sign it. I didn't write him off as much as other people did, but yeah, I was pretty ready to see him gone. So pretty awesome that he's back to himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had that kind of like the debate on the last thing where you took the con, I took the pro. And I was saying, like, if the bad games, like he had like 5 bad games in a row to start the season, I said, you take those 5 games, if they're at the front end of the season where you have no other context for anything, you're going to be like, this guy is trash. Yeah. He's shooting 11% from the field. Like, he's terrible, right? Like, that's what you're going to think because you have no context for what he's doing. You take that sample size as if it's like a mountain when it's a molehill. Now, like, we're starting to see, like I said, if you took those games and he had a normal season and you put all those 5 bad games right at the end of that season when he had a pretty normal season, you'd be like, well, whatever, it's just 5 games. Like, who cares? We've seen what he's capable of for the rest of the season.
That's essentially what Yak said, right? Yak basically said, like, oh, if you have 3 games in the middle of the season that you shoot poorly, nobody's going to notice or care. Yeah. When it happens at the beginning, it's all very like loud kind of thing, right? I'm paraphrasing, but he essentially echoed the same statement of, it looks really bad right now, but it's just games and it's just when they're happening, right?
He's a wise man.
He really is. And he tells us straight.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like, I think that also, like, the copium that I was huffing turns out to be truth serum, because I was saying, like, he just needs to wait until Yak can come back. And when Yak comes back and his screen buddy is there, he's going to start being able to do his favorite play, the pick and roll, and he'll be right back to where he was. And of course, I called it copium at the time, but it was just straight truth fuel. Yeah. And look at what happened.
Yeah. And like, it makes sense because, like, his 3-point not falling, but he still wants to provide offense. So he goes searching. And that searching, unfortunately, looked like a lot of drives that, dribbling, picking up his dribble in the lane, putting up layups that weren't exactly working. Like, he was obviously searching to figure out ways to still impact positively now that his shot wasn't falling, because we would go crazy if he was just taking 10 threes and missing all of them, right? So it looks really good when the shot is hitting, and then he doesn't have to go do that, right? Exactly. He can just go, okay, cool. I can swing the ball when it's the right time. I can touch paint, pass the ball out, all that stuff, right? He still does similar things where
the fast break stuff where he doesn't pass on the fast break, and
exactly there's
still
some like
questionable shots.
And there was that 5-second out of bounds play where there was at least 2 seconds where Scotty was wide open, but he can't see him because there's guys in the way, right? And it's like he's exactly right. He's small, and it's like it always seems like he can't see Scotty because Scotty gets open and he doesn't pass it to him. But when I watched that 5-second play back, I was like, easy solve is just have Scotty be the inbounder there. Yeah. Because why are you putting your tiny guy on the like? He's not tiny, but you're putting him on the baseline to make that play. and you got I've never seen Emmanuel Quickley get a 5-second call, and that's what you got.
Yeah, there's like he's like I'll just put it out there right now. Like he's not a traditional point guard in the
Yeah.
sense that he is going to be like making these incredible passes and like
Hmm.
hooking everybody up and in their exactly in their spots and like spoon feeding every player on your team. Like he's not that type of player.
Yeah.
He's like a scorer, a scoring guard who is good in the pick and roll,
Hmm.
so he can create for other people when
Yeah.
he's got like a good screen.
Yeah.
And like a huge component of that is like the shooting. And we've all noted like his shot is like a little ponderous, like it takes some
Mhm.
time to get up there. So he needs the like a big beefy screen to kind
Yeah.
of create the separation so that he can shoot the three. And once that happens and teams are playing him for a shot and coming up and trying to go over the screen and bother his shot, then he can get into the lane. And then once he's in the lane, he'll make the reads that you expect him to. Not like the superstar, like,
Yeah.
LaMelo ball passes or anything like that, but like solid reads,
Hmm.
maybe find Yak on the short roll, maybe pass it out to the corner for an open three, or maybe he just takes it all the way to the rim. Like that can happen too. He's got decent burst. So
Yeah.
why don't we take a look at like his stats, pre and post, sort of his bad phases. So we'll take a look at the first 6 games, here. And
So this is pre-Julian cosign before you positively jinxed him.
yeah, exactly. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. This is okay. So the record was 2-4. He had just come off his worst game of the season when he played 26 minutes, scored 4 points. It was 2 of 9 from the field. So he was averaging 13 points, almost 7 assists. That's not bad on
Yeah.
39% from the field and 25% from three with two turnovers a game. So not good. He was -5 over that stretch. Okay, let's take a look at the new and improved Emmanuel Quickley, his most recent 5 games. So I'm not even gonna try and like, I'm not gonna do the what's that called? A Texas sharpshooter. Have you heard of that?
No, what is
The
that?
Texas sharpshooter is the guy who has a gun, and
Okay.
he fires his gun at a barn door. Okay.
Okay.
And then he goes up to the barn door and draws bullseyes around every one of the shots that he takes. Okay. So if I wanted to do that, I would omit game 7 when he had 9
Right.
points on 2 of 5 shooting. And I'd go, hey, look, I'd only include the good games, the 4
Yeah.
strings, but I will include, because I'm not, hey, I have no agendas here. I just want to tell the unvarnished truth here. So we'll include this game in our sample here. Team is 4-1 in that stretch. He's averaging 17.6 points per game, 47% from the field, 43% from three, with almost 6 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and over a steal, and just 1.4 turnovers, and is a +7. Wow. What a champion.
Yep.
Yeah. And let's just do the Texas sharpshooter because I want to see what his stats look like here. Oh my God. He's averaging almost 20 points a game.
Wow.
Wow. Look at that. Amazing. If you just take out the bad games, you look really good.
Then you have 4 players on the roster averaging 20. Look at that.
That would be pretty incredible. I think Scotty's under the 20 mark now.
He is. He dropped to 19.5.
Yeah. And he didn't even have a bad game. I mean, the 15
No,
point
he
game
just
with
yeah,
double.
he got those foul trouble, and then they kept him out of the game on those are weak fouls. And then yeah, he was efficient. This is what I expected essentially from him. I expected him to be around 19 and a half, but much more efficient, right?
Yeah.
And he's been a lot more efficient. So that's fantastic. You don't need to crack 20 points to be considered a star. Who cares? So
Absolutely.
that's been great. Okay,
He's been
so
really good. All the impact metrics say he's like amazing. I know you shared a
Mhm.
stat recently that showed that he's like top 30 BPM or something like that.
he's
He's almost tied with Alperen Şengün.
Yeah, exactly. Like in years past, his defensive BPM, great. Offensive BPM, not great. But he actually has them both working this year. That stat that showed that Jokic's offensive BPM is better than everybody else's combined
Yeah,
BPM is
that's
just hilarious.
well,
But
somebody posted like how long is this meme going to go on for? And
yeah,
it shows like the calculation cuz like all these one number stats are all these like esoteric, extremely complex
yeah,
like mathematical formulas, and some guy
yeah.
picked out like one part of it and it totally makes sense. It says assists for bigs. Like if you're a center and you have a
Uh-huh.
high assist rate, that counts for your defensive rating, which is like,
Okay.
what? That doesn't make any sense. Like
Yeah.
that's insane. So I was
That's
like, okay, this is a useless stat, or at least it
yeah,
has this very significant flaw. Because what do assists have to do with defense?
for real. And there was like I think Scotty is now being counted as a forward, but either a year before, whatever, he was counted as a guard. His advanced metrics are crazy because like a guard gets a rebound, boom, that matters more.
Yeah,
Guard gets a steal, matters more. Guard gets a block, matters a lot more. So he's this guy who, was playing maybe 30% of his games as guard, but getting counted as guard and having insane metrics from it, right? So there's obviously some fluff going on with a lot of these metrics, but
yeah.
you know,
Well, we're
it's
watching it. We don't need these fancy,
yeah,
calculator rat stats.
yeah.
We can use our eyes and know that Scotty Barnes is playing,
As
sublimely. He's been
a-
awesome.
and we can see that Emmanuel Quickley has been substantially better and going hand in hand with wins for sure.
Yeah, for sure. He's been way better. And also, we can use our eyes to see the cursed tweets that people were making about Brandon Ingram in the wake of,
Oh my
water bottle
gosh.
gate.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So, like, listen, I'm sure that other podcasts have kind of delved into this and talked about the ins and outs, but we will give our take here because it's been a couple of games and people have digested it and he's apologized and all of that. But
Yeah.
I'll give my take. You can give yours because I know that you can tell some funny stories too because you've been active on Twitter about this. But
Yeah.
for me, like, first of all, the act itself, I'm not going to go out and say that it was great and that it totally doesn't matter. And everybody's like, yeah, it sucked. I mean, he threw the
Yeah.
bottle on the ground. It bounced up into the guy's face, splashed him. The whole team kind of had to move out of the way and then they had to clean it up. And he didn't really look apologetic. Yeah, that's not great. Like, I'm not going to say that's awesome. But I think that the reaction to it, especially before like he could come out and say anything.
Yeah.
Like he's gone out on the record afterwards and said like I've apologized to the guy, and like of course he could just say that and he didn't apologize or something. I'm not going to entertain that thought. I think he probably did apologize to the
Yeah.
guy. He took responsibility and explained why he did it because he was so frustrated with like an injury and his how he was playing.
Yeah.
And that's good enough for me. Okay. So, like, am I going to say it's good? No. But there are so many other things that I would cancel him for. Like,
Yeah.
if he was caught in a Miles Bridges situation, Kevin Porter Jr. situation, I'm not defending the guy. I'm not going to say, screw you. I'm not a fan anymore.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that, like, this is very low on my, am I going to judge this guy? Am I going to cancel this guy? No, no,
No, I
no.
know.
If it becomes a pattern of behavior, like, and it comes out that he's constantly disrespecting or
Yeah.
mistreating the staff that looks after them, yeah, I'm going to judge him and say like, I don't support that. Maybe I'm not a fan of his anymore. This is
Yeah.
a single incident. It happened. He apologized. There's no pattern of behavior as far as I know that I can see where he has exhibited any of this other stuff. So I'm going to take the long-term view and like the grander scale of things, like the 20,000 foot view, and say like, means nothing.
No,
Everybody's
yeah,
the news cycle's going to move on.
exactly, right? Like NBA loves drama. They love every little thing that they can get their fingertips on, and then they stop caring after a couple of days. And you're not your mistakes. They happen. He, okay, yeah, exactly. If it becomes a pattern, sure, problem. But I saw stuff like in a world of Brandon Ingram's, be a Jamal Shed, where Jamal Shed is picking up the garbage that got kicked over. And like, okay, great.
Guys.
That was a a great show of character for Jamal Shed, but a full character judgment off of
I
that.
know.
Whereas, like, if you ask Jamal Shed, he'd probably be like, "What the hell? This guy's a great guy. What are you talking about?" So I think a lot of that was crazy and carried away, and just the I don't get why it became like moss to a flame. These racists just came out of nowhere and jumped all over it, and it was so gross. And like, yeah, I made a joke because one of the main like Ingram accounts, like one of his main fans, whatever, was running like interference of posting all his previous charity work and stuff, just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
wow, 240 pairs of shoes, what a great guy, and all this stuff, right? So I figured I would jump on that, and I commented, oh yeah, I was the arena attendant, and I forgive him, and all this stuff, right? And for some reason, so many people believed it, but people like were coming at me saying stuff
Yeah. I
to
saw
me
some of the
that,
stuff. You're a cock. You're
yeah,
a cock for a millionaire athlete. This guy's
you're
a
a cuck,
troll.
you're a bitch, you're this, all that, right? And it's like, guys, like,
It's
you're
not that
insane.
deep. It's not
You're
that deep.
absolutely insane.
And the like what you're saying about the race thing, like first of all, like not every person that criticized Brandon Ingram is racist. That's not
No.
what we're saying. What we are saying though is that there was a huge proportion of people, especially the over the top reactions to it, because
Hmm.
Brandon Ingram's a black man with
Yep.
a lot of tattoos,
Yep.
and he did something in the heat of the moment, and that is going to like immediately get people who have like prejudices. They're
Hmm.
like, oh, I knew it, this is
Yep.
exactly what they're all like
Yep.
that. It just a hair trigger reaction from certain people. Not like every person who got upset with him is like that, but there is like, you know, that will upset those types of people, that they will
Absolutely.
get it will go viral in those kinds of communities.
Yep.
And so when you see people reacting in that way, you're like, okay, well, like, guys, don't join the mob. Don't go and
Hey,
pick up
yeah.
the pitchfork. If you look to your right, you look to your left, and these guys, and you look at their comment section, and
They're
it's like
wearing hoods
griper
and you're
talk.
like, yeah.
Like if you're holding up the pitchfork along with them, maybe you should be thinking, oh, me, I don't want to be in this group. You know,
Hey,
maybe distinguish yourself. You don't have to say that what he's doing is good. Maybe you
yeah.
just have to say it's like, I am not one of these people, and I'm going to give him a chance to redeem himself, and I don't
Yeah.
want to be, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Do you remember like last season somebody made like a Jokic edit of him like body checking dudes and being very
Yes,
physical,
yes.
and that got taken
Oh, of
by one of
course.
that's whatever surfs account, one of the most racist accounts on Twitter, took that and they were like, yeah, this is what happens
This
when you
is a
piss
white
off.
man's
Yeah,
league.
and it's like, okay, like, can
Chill,
we
yeah,
just
chill.
not?
Yeah, you could be
Yeah.
like a guy, like a Jokic fan, and like he has many black fans, and like
Yeah,
he is a
like,
Serbian basketball player,
yeah.
and then like you get these weirdos who are everything. Like you have to notice that these people, when they're looking at things, they are looking through one lens.
Yeah,
One lens. There's
exactly.
one thing they care about. Do you think they care about basketball?
Absolutely not.
Or
The
do you
one,
think that they care about the fact that like one of the best players, or probably the best player in the league right now,
yeah,
is a white guy? They're like, yes, yes, finally it's ours. Basketball is
ex-
ours.
exactly. Like, and like the one guy who commented some messed up thing to my thing, and I was like, did you even watch it? Because if you did, you'd realize that I am not this person. I am not
Yeah,
the
here's
guy
my
that worked at
profile
this
picture.
thing,
Here's the
right?
guy in the yeah.
But you obviously didn't watch it because you're just here to be racist. So yeah, obviously a lot of gross stuff with the Ingram thing, and just I simply don't care. I don't
No,
think that this is a
no.
pattern or thing that he does. It happened. It
Much
was
ado about nothing. I will,
airs.
if more information comes out. Listen, this
Yeah.
is just going to show that I am not like a homer. I'm not going to like just. It's not all about the team. I do care about how people behave if they're
Mhm.
in a Raptors uniform. If this shows to be a pattern of behavior and he's acting crazy like over and over and over again,
Yeah.
eventually I'll just say like, listen, I'm not gonna support this guy in
Yep.
this thing. But it is so like we're not even close to that, so don't worry about it. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's our piece on the Brandon Ingram water bottle fiasco. So now we can get back to like actual basketball stuff. That's the stuff I want to talk about. I'm sure you're the same way.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about Jamison Battle? Because
Mhm.
it has been a battle for him to get
Absolutely.
touches, for him to get minutes. He did
Yeah.
play quite a few minutes last game, but like 13 minutes.
Yeah.
But I think he should be playing more right now. I
Yeah.
mean, I think if it was a pure meritocracy, like it was just like, we need to just win as many games as possible this season. Don't worry about development. It's just go, 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 pedal to the metal. He
Yeah.
would be playing a lot more minutes than he is right now.
Absolutely. I don't know how he he wins us the game straight up.
Pretty, yeah,
20 points, perfect. Didn't miss a shot. And all those threes came in like the last minute. Like amazing. And next game, DNP.
yeah.
Like crazy that you don't reward that. I get that Darko has to manage these guys who don't have it going. He's trying to get Ochai to get it going. He's trying to get Jacoby to get it going. At the time, Grady didn't really have it going. He's had a couple of good games recently. He's back up to shooting around 40% from three. Awesome. Great. I don't really care about getting Jacoby going. He's 21. That's
Yeah.
fine. Let him develop. Cool. Ochai, I don't know
Kind of
what you're doing.
lost cause kind of right
Yeah,
now. He's too
like
old to be a prospect, and he's just
it's a
not.
contract year and he's shooting under 10% from three. Let him work it out in the gym. See if he gets his minutes back. Jameson should be getting his minutes. Like even the defensive fall off isn't even that crazy
No,
between them
it's
right now because Jameson has length. He got a good block the other game. He
yeah. He's not like, let's put it this way. His defense is for a specialist is fine. Okay.
exactly.
Specialists are supposed to be hidden. The
Yeah.
whole idea behind them is that they do one thing really well. In his case, it's a he's a shooter. He can add movement to his game. He can run off screens. He's one of the only movement shooters. Like Quickley is one as well, but he can move around and shoot the ball. Nobody else on the team can do that.
Yeah, and he is shooting. He is still shooting. Like his splits are insane. It is 70% field goal, like 73% from three, and then zero free throws because he just doesn't get to line. But
Yeah.
like still 70% and he's not taking like 5 attempts a game because he gets so low minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like he's only getting like
I think they
600.
also need to look for him more. Like last game,
Yeah,
he played
definitely.
13 minutes. He got 2 shots, only 1 3 in 13 minutes. You have
Yeah.
like one of the best pure
You gotta
shooters.
feed him.
You gotta
Exactly.
just get that guy the ball.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Shed got that nice assist to him, but I feel like when he's on the court, like they should be featuring him in some more
Definitely.
plays. Like,
And that'll open everything else up for everybody.
yeah,
Right? When they start to really, really fear this guy, and if you get him on like lineups where you've got him with Quickley or with Shed, somebody who's also shooting over 40%, like you're going to start to really open up that floor for somebody like Scotty who needs that paint open, right? It makes so many things work.
yeah, and like people are saying it's like, oh, he's a sophomore, and like he's still like he is an older player. He was a
Yeah.
5-year player in college,
Yeah.
so we have to give both sides of the story here. He's almost 25 years old, so like this is a guy who is like playing very well right now,
Yeah.
and is supposed to be for his age. And so like, I don't know how much upside he has left. Like I get the reasons why they want to push Grady. They want to push, Jamal
Jacoby.
Shed, but Jacoby Walter,
Yeah.
because those guys have more upside, right? They
Yeah.
are younger and they are not near their apex as players.
Yeah.
They're not near their primes. Whereas Jamison Battle, if he were a 1-year player in college, he would be a 4-year vet,
Yeah.
so he should be doing stuff like this. But at the same time, like in a meritocratic world, like we
Yeah.
all want, a guy who is playing so well,
Yeah.
like you desire that he gets his just desserts, his like what he deserves,
Yeah.
which is for him to get minutes and get touches and play more and like pop off. Like I want to see this guy shoot like 6 or 7 threes a game,
Yep.
because his like everything he's done since he's stepped on an NBA court has been make open shots.
Yeah.
That he just makes open shots. Like I don't know what the percentages are, but it seems like when he is open, he's like a plus 50, like 60% shooter for when he's open from three.
Yeah, if he's shooting 70% on all threes, he's probably shooting like 80% on open threes.
Yeah, I mean, like
Like,
we're still in the small sample size
yeah,
area. Like let me see how many actual shots he's taken this season. Um,
like,
sorry. So totals right now, he's taken 15 3-point attempts, which is actually not that bad for 9 games, but like it's still on the low side. But I mean, he has a full season under his belt where he shot 40% from
yep,
three on 260 shots. The guy is a really good shooter, and
yep,
I would love to see him get more minutes, even if it comes at the cost of, some of the younger guys, some of the guys who are on the bubble. Ochai Agbaji, who's obviously a good defender. I just want to see him go out, and that's one of my favorite things in the NBA is watching a guy heat up and get really super hot from
absolutely.
three.
Yeah. When I saw him last season, when he whatever, like when he made the training camp team, cool, and then when he started finally getting minutes and stuff, I was like, we finally have a guy that other team, like other fans will be like, who the hell is cooking us right now? Who is this guy hitting these shots?
Yeah.
And then the other thing I was like, Jameson Battle is a guy that the Celtics would take and play 15 minutes a game
Yeah.
because he's a guy who, like, he hits shots.
Yep.
Cool. Perfect. Specialist. What we've needed for so long. And I want him to get the opportunity and hopefully Darko allows it. He sees more of them. Like I always like whenever I think about rotation stuff and everything, it's like I have to remember coaches see the practices, they see this, they see the effort, they see who's hitting this, who's working together with this, blah, 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 right? But from what we've seen in games, definitely merits more
Mhm.
chances, right?
Yeah. And like if defense is a big concern, like Grady would not be playing. So like
Yeah.
I'd say they're probably pretty equal in terms of their foot speed on the perimeter.
Mhm.
Like maybe you'd give Grady the athleticism edge, but Battle is like a bigger guy. Like he's a more physical player. So like I don't think that there's like a functional reason why he's not playing. It's more of
Mhm.
like a conceptual sort of like development reason he's not.
Yeah.
Anyway, I agree with you on that one. We'll stop beating the dead horse here and we'll move on to the next topic, which is Jamal Shed and
hmm
Sandro Mamukelashvili. And those guys have kind of emerged off of as the Raptors' two most reliable and kind of
Impactful role players. Like,
right.
yeah, they're starring in their roles essentially,
Yeah.
right? Mamu is doing exactly what you ask of him and then some. Like, I don't know if we went over it last time, but the two-man data is crazy. He makes every player, every starter has a positive with him. Every bench player, positive with him.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And then Shed is like his biggest concern was if he could shoot.
Yeah.
And right now, shooting close to 45% from three.
Yeah. And like some of the shots he's taking they're not like some of them are off the dribble. Some of them are
Yeah.
like real like point
Yeah.
guard shots.
He hit a buzzer beater. He's doing these like pull up. Yeah, exactly.
The
Like
floater is working. He's getting to
hmm
the rim. And like the stuff that we kind of expected, the passing, he's always been a really good passer.
yeah.
And the defense, I think the defense is like when been given the treat of watching Davion Mitchell
Yeah.
play, like that guy is like one of the better defenders at his
Yeah.
position. There's a fall off to Jamal Shed, but he
Yeah.
still like creates turnovers. He's
Well,
still on guys. He's
yeah.
still trying to like pressure the point of attack. Like he is a good defender. So like there are a whole bunch of things that he is doing right now that are like making me go like, oh, okay, he's like a real
Mhm.
NBA player.
Yep. He's getting those moving screen fouls. Like he's
Yes.
causing those, and he said he
Those
learned
are,
that from Davion,
yeah.
right? Awesome. He spent the summer training with Alex Caruso, and it is showing because his defense last season compared to now was not what he was marketed as. Like he was Naismith Defender of the Year coming out of college, but the drop off to the pros, everybody's bigger, everybody's faster,
Yeah.
no longer playing in that Houston system, which was, they bring their level a lot higher
Yeah.
to force those turnovers, like, and force you to panic right away.
Yeah.
So,
And
you
in
know,
yeah, as you said, like it's a totally different. Like in college, if you scare the ball handler, they'll turn it over. They
yeah,
don't know what to do.
yeah,
That's what I love about the NCAA tournament is that you have like full court presses and like people just like they freeze up, like they actually like you see the panic in their eyes
yeah,
because they're so young and they have no idea what they're doing.
yeah. And then they chuck the ball into the third row that it's like, oh, or they like call a timeout they don't have. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great.
So yeah, Mamu Shed Shed has been awesome. Running the point, playing, using the pick and roll to get into the paint, uh, finding players. Mamu has his defense. Like he's not a traditional center, but
Yep.
he can move his feet. He is a really good rebounder. And then on offense, his ability to handle the ball for a big, like,
Yeah.
and those straight line drives to the basket, like he's athletic.
Yeah.
He can jump. He has a good first step for a big. Like that's one of the big things is that if you put a big on him and he's on the perimeter, they want to come up on him because he's a shooter, and then he can just get past them.
Yeah. He's very good at attacking closeouts. Like,
Yeah.
and he demands you to actually challenge his shot because he will pull. He has a pretty quick release. He'll
Yeah.
pull and hit. Like, it's been amazing, and it's like more than we could have expected from him. And we were hesitant to get too crazy excited. And again, it's only like 11 game sample, but it all seems sustainable and consistent. It doesn't seem outlier.
No,
Um,
yeah, it looks good. And like he
yeah,
has had bad games sprinkled in. Like this
yeah,
has not been those like when you're looking for outliers and you're looking for like statistical aberrations, what are you looking
yeah,
for? Like games like where they shoot an unsustainably high amount of 3-point shots and make
yeah,
all of them.
yeah,
Like are they just like huge fall offs in games where they don't like are they don't have their shot going,
mhm,
or they don't have a favorable matchup. He's been able to kind of like grift and like grind his way to like points on the board.
yeah,
He has like a back to the basket game, so he's not one dimensional. Like he
mhm,
posts up smaller players and can make plays. He can pass the ball. Like he can play a two-man game with different people. Like you can use him in all of these different ways. And then the shooting is the thing that is like, the big plus skill where you have a guy who can play kind of at the big position and can stretch the floor out. And he's been doing well there too. So like,
yeah,
I'm just not seeing like a huge weakness that
yeah,
is going to keep him from getting major minutes off of the bench this season. So
yeah.
just been so satisfied watching him play, and also obviously Jamal Shed as well.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to mention about Shed, 5 assists in 17 minutes per game. Like 5 assists per game in 17 minutes.
That's huge.
Crazy. I know per 36 was like almost a made up stat, but per 36, second in the league behind Jokic in assists per 36.
Yeah. The guy is
That's
an
pretty cool.
extremely talented. Yeah, the guy's an extremely talented playmaker,
Yeah.
and he like how I was criticizing Quickley for not having the ability to like make high level reads,
Yeah.
where he's more of just kind of like a scorer who can also pass the ball. Jamal Shed is like he's a real point guard, and he
Yeah.
is like a guy that is like has that supernatural sense of where other people are on the court.
Yeah.
That one pass that he had, I think it was last night, to over the shoulder, when he just did this quick crossover, got into the paint, and then hurled this over the shoulder pass to the outside to CMB, who was wide open, and he canned the three.
Yep.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like I had to watch that again because I was like, that is such a sick pass.
Yeah.
Like the guy has been like really, really good at running the point for the Raptors off of the bench. And
And
like, what have the Raptors needed for the past 5 years? Just one
exactly.
guy who can come off of the bench and run the point. And they have not been able to do it. And
Yeah.
they finally do. So
Yep. And it's um like we dealt with Malachi, bless his heart. We dealt with Malachi Flynn for years, and this guy's come in and just been light years ahead. So obviously to us he looks incredible
I know.
comparatively, right? But and what do the Raptors bench have right now? a positive net rating, which was one of my preseason
That
predictions.
was
Was that
you.
this bench would have a positive net rating, and that's what they have for like the first time in forever. And it's Jamal Shed, it's CMB, it's Sandro Mamukelashvili, it's and Grady. Grady, I know individual plus minus, who cares? But Grady's a +5 or something in
Yeah.
individual plus minus because offensively he has been uh, on the floor for so many good like plays, good points. He's been one of the only players. Shed's been doing it, Quickley's been doing it, but who gets those paint touches before swinging the ball, which bends the defense and starts that pass around the perimeter, leading to these open threes. So
Yeah.
that's been fantastic off the bench as well. Lots of great stuff.
Yeah, there have been a lot of positive developments for the Toronto Raptors. I don't know if I'm as high on Grady.
Mhm.
Like he has been feast or famine this year,
Yep.
but yeah, I mean the plus minus stats are backing you up, so maybe I have to take that into
Well,
account.
I asked some like in the one group chat somebody asked what do you think Grady's shooting? And everybody's like 20%, 25%. It seems like that's what he's shooting. No, he's shooting 39% from three at the time, right? But field goal percentage, he was also shooting 39%. So part of it is that he's blowing a lot of layups and that kind of deal. Defensively, he still is a weakness, is what it is. He's not a perfect player. That's okay. Maybe he can still carve out his role.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They've been doing a good job hiding him, and like
Mhm.
in certain matchups, like the Nets didn't have anybody that could really take advantage of him. So, like,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Why don't we move on to the? We just mentioned him. He's part of that bench unit. Is CMB and the
hmm
disrespect he's getting from the national media. That'll be the
Uh,
final topic that we cover here. Um,
the new rookie ladder just dropped and they bumped CMB off it.
that
It's
is he just
I
had a perfect game. He was nine, had 9 points on 100% field goal percentage, 4 to
yeah,
4 from the line. Like, come on,
yeah.
man.
But Ace Bailey happened to have a good game, so get him in there despite his horrific shooting for most of the season because he
Hype
has
beast.
yeah, exactly. He's got a lot more hype around it. And like I mean, they've got couple players on there that are probably going to drop off throughout the year, whatever. But disrespect, and it's if he was on a different team, I know it would be different. I know it would, and it's like
Yeah.
y- you think that it's like, oh, maybe it's acting like a victim or acting like whatever, but we've seen it time again where we think a player's good and we sing their praises and everybody else says shut up. And
Yeah.
then that player goes to a different team and then they are, oh,
Oh
look
my
at this guy.
God, they've discovered him.
He should be a DPOY. Oh my gosh. Like,
We all know who you're
come
talking
on.
about right now. You're obviously talking, you never mentioned him, of course, OG.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Like if this guy was playing for the Lakers and was like playing the defense that we know, like against
Yeah.
like Wemby in his one of his first game, which was
Yeah.
the second game, but like there have been a lot of high points for him. And you know the stats are looking good, the per 36 stats, and he's has these flashes where he does something amazing,
Yeah.
highlight reel that should be getting him recognition, like some of the
Did
steals that he has.
did you see the behind the back swing pass?
Oh,
They kicked it to him in the corner
oh
and he went
yes,
behind the
yes,
back to swing it.
yeah, I know.
What?
He has sauce. Like
Yeah.
he's like billed as kind of like this, you know, meat and potatoes kind
Yeah.
of guy, but like he's got a lot of juice to his, like he's got some stuff going on. Like his
Yeah.
driving game is really
hmm
good. His ability to handle the ball is like higher than I think a lot of people expected.
Yeah.
The 3-point shooting, like that is a big thing in the NBA. Like a lot of people respect 3-point percentage.
Yep.
Hey, come on, like what's he shooting right now? Let's see.
Well, I know that he has now, since last game, he crossed the amount of threes that he hit in the first 2 years, or his full 2 years of college. He has now passed that.
Oh yeah, he's shooting a cool 50% from three on how many attempts here? 18 attempts. So
This
more
is
than
It's a better start than Ryan Dunn had last season, and Ryan Dunn got immediate, oh my gosh, we were so wrong about this guy. He can
yeah.
defend and shoot threes, and then his three-pointer fell off. So he deserves more respect than Ryan Dunn got at the time, but he's not getting it. Who cares? We know he's great.
Yeah, he is like he's showing flashes, and he's showing a little like some consistent like of course for a rookie your minutes are going to go up and down,
Hmm.
and you're going to have good games, you're going to have bad games. He's had a couple of bad games, but had like enough of those, like he stacked up some good games. This is
Yeah.
not like he's not a project is what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
projects are like they'll have one good game for every four bad games they have, like
Yeah.
1 in 5 or something like that. He's
Yeah.
like about 50-50. Like
Yeah.
half of the games he's having a really good game, the other half he's having kind of like not a good game. But
Yeah.
that's like for a rookie, that's amazing. Like you're
Yeah.
looking at like a rotation caliber player. If you're a
Yeah.
rotation caliber player in your first year in the league, that's a really good sign. That's a
Yeah.
sign that like you're probably gonna make it, right? So yeah, I'm really satisfied with what I'm seeing from him.
Yeah.
Although like he's still making some rookie mistakes,
Yep.
especially on
Of course.
defense. So it's not all, sunshine and happiness, but I have been pretty happy with what I've been seeing from the big rook. In any case, I think that's probably going to wrap up the podcast. We went a little bit over time, but you know, I'm happy to talk about the Raptors right now. I could probably go for another hour talking about how great the Raptors are and what I'm liking and seeing from the team. It's just a joy when the Raptors are playing well, when you get to talk about them. It's been a
Yeah.
while, so
Yeah.
relish it, enjoy it. Steve, I enjoy doing this podcast, and I will see you probably on Monday. We'll
Absolutely.
have a little bit less time off this time around, but I look forward to talking to you then. And thank you to everybody who tuned into the podcast. We are rolling right along, chugging. If you want to see more of Steve and I, you can go and follow us on at Raptors Report on pretty much all of the social media channels. Just search there and you'll find our channel there. Join the Discord. There's a lot of great conversation going on there. I'll put a link in the description. You can find that. And as always, thank you for tuning into Raptors Report, your source for in-depth